Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to our X Tribe Google Hangout tonight. We got a great call for you. I'm glad you tuned in. My name's Paul Devlin. I'm calling in from Colorado. We've got some great guests on the line with us tonight. So what I'm going to do real quick before we get into kind of the meat of what we want to cover is talk about just some basic things that are going on. First of all, we noticed we posted some things on the Facebook page. And by the way, one of the things we want to have in our culture, we'd love to get all of the new members that come into Fusion into our Facebook X Tribe group. And the way you do that, you have to be friends with them and you have to invite them in. So people can't just become members of that Facebook group on their own. They have to be invited by a friend who's already a member. So I just want to encourage you to remember that when you're enrolling people, to plug them into that Facebook page. It's just a great place for new people to kind of get oriented with our community. It's been a phenomenal page for us. But the other thing, the really key thing we want everybody to do right away is to go to the fusionxtribe.com website. And so what I'm going to do here real quick is just show you guys this page. Hopefully you'll be able to see that here shortly. Let me go ahead and share this. Okay, so this is fusionxtribe.com, and this is one of the very first things we want people to do when they get started, because this is where we communicate with each other as far as the overall team in the United States for Fusion. We're just 2 months into the launch of Fusion USA, and this is the place. Now, if you look at the site, you're going to notice over here on the right this little box that says Stay Connected. Enter your info below to receive team updates, tips, and news. So it's just first name and email address, and you don't have to worry. You know, we respect privacy. We're not going to be selling these names or anything else. This is only for one purpose, and that's to be able to communicate when we've got something going on in the community, an event coming up or whatever. We're going to be able to broadcast that information out to everyone in the community. And this is the way you stay connected, and it's the way that when you enroll a new member, we want them to stay connected, is right there on this Fusion X Tribe website. And the other thing I want to point your attention to here is in the middle of the screen, you're going to see here it says Explode 2016. So this is where you register for the next major event in the U.S. market. So you see here hundreds of Fusion entrepreneurs from every state are going to gather in Dallas, and this is a national event. We'll actually have people from Peru, from the other countries in Central America and South America coming to Dallas for this weekend. And one of the things you want to do is, as you're enrolling people, get them plugged into the Facebook page, get them connected into this Fusion X Tribe website, and begin to talk to people about setting aside the time to get to this Dallas event. Because there's nothing that's going to do more for people as far as building their belief in Fusion, as far as them seeing this as a big part of their future, but for them to go to this event that's coming up in Dallas. So this is where you register for it, and you want to walk the new members through that and get them registered as soon as possible. All right, as you look at the left side of the site, you'll see here Presenting Fusion, and here you're going to see the videos. There you see Randy. We've got some audios. We've got videos. These are presentations for Fusion. So I'm going to go back here real quick. And my site is sticking, so I'm just going to go ahead and explore that site because my website just froze. I've got the Hangout going at the same time. But that's a great starting place for people when you're just getting started in Fusion as a member. So what I want to do now is I want to turn the call over to a master's in nutrition. Her name is Penny Wanger. She's from Durango, Colorado, and she's going to talk to us tonight about a product that was fairly recently released in the U.S. market. It's called Beauty In. So Penny, take it away.
All right. Hi, everybody. Oh, my gosh. I was so excited to talk about Beauty In tonight, because from the first time that I looked at this product and really saw how much was in it, I couldn't believe it. It is just the most fabulous, fabulous product. not only, it is in our anti-aging category, but not only for anti-aging where it can really help prevent dryness and the effects of gravity, but it's also an awesome product for athletes. So it's a very far-reaching product, and because it contains so many antioxidants, it's great for everybody in general as well. So just let me tell you what's in this product. We have hydrolyzed collagen, number 1 and 3. We have hyaluronic acid. We have anthocyanins, which are antioxidants, coenzyme Q10, vitamins A, C, E, and biotin, which is B8, great for your skin. We have amino acids, L-arginine and L-isoleucine. And then if you wonder why this product tastes so darn good, it's because it has guava, grapefruit, passion fruit, and a superfruit, camu. So I wanted to just look at some of these ingredients because some of these things you don't find in supplements very often. You sometimes find them in skin preparations, but wow, this hydrolyzed collagen and hyaluronic acid, these are amazing because what we really want is not just beauty that we're trying to get on the outside of our skin, but beauty from the inside. And this product is so deeply nourishing that it really supports that. And we're really seeing just great benefits from our members and customers. So hydrolyzed collagen 1 and 3, you may not realize it, but collagen is a protein, and it's actually the largest protein in our body. It actually makes up about 65% of our total protein. So what happens when from age or stress or poor diet, as we lose our collagen, muscles and skin sag, bones lose density, joints and ligaments become weaker and less elastic, cartilage becomes thinner and weaker, hair loses its wave and its curl, organs sag, skin becomes thinner and it wrinkles, and basically it's ugly what happens when we lose our collagen. So hydrolyzed collagen is really a breakthrough in the industry because it's so absorbable and digestible by our bodies. So it is a form, and the 1 and 3 is really cool because that just has to do with the kind of collagen and where our body uses it. So it's one that our body can really make use of. And as I was looking at this, I found several studies that really showed, scientific studies, that there were great results. In fact, like one scientific study showed a 91% increase in skin hydration and resilience with less furrowing and wrinkles when hydrolyzed collagen was taken daily for 2 months. So if you take hydrolyzed collagen long term, it's practically impossible not to benefit. So once the body is provided with usable building blocks for new collagen, and often this is for the first time in many years as we lose it, as we age, many systems in our body can show improvement. And that is including skin toning and thickening, muscle tone and lean muscle gain in your body, joint rebuilding, arterial strengthening, greater mobility and flexibility, and vibrant, firmer, glowing skin. In fact, one of my members owns a beauty salon, and I've gone over there to do some meetings with her, and every time I go over, she is like, Penny, look at my wrinkles. They're going away. And she had been taking 1 to 2 packets of beauty a day for just a couple of weeks when she really, really noticed those benefits. So who doesn't want that? So in addition, though, to this hydrolyzed collagen, our product also has hyaluronic acid in it. And hyaluronic acid, if you are a woman who buys skin products for your aging skin, you will know hyaluronic acid. It's actually a very expensive ingredient that they put into skin preparations. So this is really exciting that we actually get it internally. And hyaluronic acid is really responsible for retaining moisture in our bodies. It's a polysaccharide that actually has the ability, like a sponge, to hold more moisture than anything else. And it gives moisture, plumpness, firmness, and suppleness. In fact, if you notice like a baby's skin where they're just so dewy and soft, that is because they have a lot of hyaluronic acid when they're born. And as we lose that with aging, we lose our hydration and moisture, and we wrinkle easier. So this is another great ingredient that can really help with those wrinkles. But hyaluronic acid also really lubricates our joints, and so the cushioning in our joints really improves when we have that hyaluronic acid. So another reason that it's so awesome for athletes and for just aging joints, can really help with that cushioning. It also helps with cartilage, and it helps in producing collagen. Another thing hyaluronic acid does is it moisturizes our scalp, and so it contributes to just your hair, you know, not getting so dried out and having more lustrous hair. So in addition to these amazing things that benefit our skin and our joints, Beauty In is packed with antioxidants. And you know, free radicals really are what is aging us. And so you cannot get too many antioxidants in your body. And I just love that so many of our products have these antioxidants. So coenzyme Q10 is an amazing antioxidant, especially for circulation and heart health. Anthocyanins, they're the flavonoids that, and ours come from blue corn. They're the really dark purple beneficial antioxidants. Camu is amazing. That is in a few of our products, and you know that fruit has like 60 times more vitamin C than an orange, 10 times more iron, 3 times more niacin, more riboflavin, phosphorus. It's a great, very nutrient-dense superfruit. It also, Beauty In has L-arginine, which is incredible. It's it is an amino acid that's a precursor to nitric oxide. So it really increases oxygen and circulation in our body. Another reason that this makes not only great for anti-aging, but also for athletes. So, you know, we have so many amazing products. And this is one that I just really feel like has so many wide-ranging benefits. It's really one that we want in our daily repertoire because it can have so many benefits. And I mean, with the baby boomers being the largest generation here and so concerned with aging and staying healthy in our appearance and in our joints and flexibility and mobility, we have a great, huge market for this product. So I would love to invite one of my members, Lori Ann Glass, is on. And Lori Ann is an amazing therapeutic massage therapist. She was really instrumental in helping me recover after a car accident. And I was so thrilled when she decided to join our team with Fusion. And so Lori Ann, I would love you to share your story about Beauty In. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Penny. Thank you, everybody, and hello. I'm excited to talk about Beauty In. I was astounded by this product when I tried it and had unexpected benefits that I just wasn't prepared for. First and foremost, it absolutely hydrated my skin and complexion in a way that I didn't anticipate. I live in Durango, Colorado. It's extraordinarily dry here, and even staying up on being hydrated, your body still just, it's an effort to get as much liquid into your body as you could possibly need to keep everything going. And my skin complexion smoothed out. Areas where the tone of my skin color was different, that all evened out. And that was in 2 weeks of use, which was pretty extraordinary to me. I also have a team member who just noted last Thursday that after a month of use, his chronic, dry, itchy skin that he's had for years had improved, and he just didn't have any dry, itchy skin anymore. But the one piece that I wasn't expecting from the Beauty Inn was the benefit that I got to my joints and my musculature. Because I do massage therapy for my main living at the moment, as Fusion is building for me, I have sore hands, sore muscles, based on the type of work that I'm doing. And I'm always looking for ways to support my joints and support my body in recovering so that I can do the volume of work that I do. And one of the astounding results that I didn't expect was that my hands were just recovering. I didn't have sore hands at the end of the day or the end of the week anymore. And my musculature just recovered. It was like a recovery drink for me, which was just really incredible, and I didn't expect that. The one other thing I want to say, just with regard to Fusion itself, my husband and I are both members of Fusion and embracing this business in our massage therapy practice, and we have found that the Fusion products are just extremely marketable in our practice. We have a nice display set up in our outer office and some highlights of the products. The display draws people in to take a look at them, and then based on what we know about them, we're able to make recommendations or invite them to look at the brochure and see if there's something that calls to them. But then they'll throw in like the results that they're hoping for, and we'll just make a recommendation, and sometimes we'll give them a sample pack of 7 different things, or we'll give them a 5-day supply of one particular product, and they'll go and try it, and the product just sells itself. And then they come back and go, I want to order some of this. So it's been a really great addition into our existing massage therapy practice to be able to offer people such an outstanding product that's so good for them that can replace anything else that they're drinking in their daily life, and feel really good about it because I make my living by helping people. So I feel so confident in being able to give them something. So I really love that. I love Fusion. And thank you very much for the opportunity to be on this call tonight. And I am going to hand it back off to Paul. Devlin, thanks, everybody.
Okay, thank you, Lorianne. How am I doing here? We've been having some technical glitches, and looks like I'm don't have a lot of good signal here. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but Ben, take it away, my friend.
Okay, cool, Paul. Thank you. And Paul, if I'm getting close to the end, kind of nudge me or something, because I got a lot to cover here. So what I want to talk about tonight, Paul asked me to talk about the invitation and how I particularly do it in my business. So I've got some notes here that I want to go through. I'm going to try and be as detailed as possible, and hopefully it helps you guys. It's been working like a charm for me. I've enrolled a lot of people, and it's been very simple, and I'm going to try and teach it to you guys. So, you know, you take what you can, what you want, and leave the rest. But the first thing I want to talk about is fear. I think fear in network marketing tends to stop a lot of people from moving forward. They've got fear about themselves. They got fear about how they're going to be portrayed by others, or the perception that's going to come about. And we have to remove that fear to be able to move forward, right? And the first thing that I talk to people about on my team is, you know, a lot of people they're in their head about what are people going to think of me, right? And the way I have people look at it is, you are trying to help people, right? Imagine if you're talking to your sister about fusion, and she's a stay-at-home mom, or she's not a stay-at-home, she's a single mom, she's got 3 kids, right? What if fusion could be that vehicle to keep her home with the kids? What if that fusion product helps your father-in-law sleep better at night? You're trying to help people, and that's the attitude that has to be in our heart when we're delivering the message. If it's not, people are going to be bouncing off it. You could say the same exact things that I say, and if your belief level isn't there, if your mindset isn't right, it'll bounce off them. So I've got a couple things that I do that I wanted to talk about just to get rid of any kind of fear, because I experienced fear. Still 12 years later, I get fear, that crops up. And what I try to do is compartmentalize that fear, move it off to the side. And I do that specifically for me. I do it through 2 ways. I pray, and you don't have to be religious. You could pray to a tree or whatever. Just get your mind right. Or I go exercise to clear out the brain. I want to be in the best mental spot possible when I'm talking to people. Okay? And so if those fears are creeping up, one of the best things you can do is talk to your upline. Let them know, hey, I'm having a hard time talking to people. I've got a lot of fear around this. And let your upline help you and guide you through that, because I guarantee they went through the same exact thing. You are not special. You are normal. Everybody experiences it. So the first and foremost, before any invitations happen, we've got to remove that fear. We've got to get that fear out of the way, because it'll just bounce off people. I can personally, for me, my back's up against the wall, right? I was in a company for a long time. It went the wrong direction quick, and I'm the breadwinner for the family. And financially, I'm up against the wall. And I could do one of 2 things. I could get fearful about that, and it can stop me in my tracks, or I can use that as fuel to talk to people. And that's what I do. I don't turn that fear into a negative. I turn it into a positive to create that energy to drive me. It's part of my why. My why is to stay home with my family for the rest of my life, because I'll tell you, I'm unemployable at this point. I'm an accountant that's unemployable because I never want to go back to that corporate setting. So that's my spiel on fear. In terms of the invitation, this is something I talk to people also. You want to be doing at least 2 invitations per day. Now, I realize that a lot of people have full-time jobs. That's how I started this, right? I had to, work 50 hours a week and then try and build a business. And you may be going, well, 2 invites a day. 2 invites a day would take 3 minutes. If you're using the app, if you're using the you're giving people a call, whatever. 2 or 3 minutes, you can do 2 invitations. That's kind of the minimum that you want to measure yourself out. If you can do 5, great. If you could do 10, great. But at least get 2 out there per day so that you've got this pipeline that is building of people, right? Number 2, one thing that I teach is when you're talking specifically about the business, this is what I say to people. Listen, I've got 2 of my top positions available in this company that's just launching out of Latin America. It's a $100 million a year company that's just launching right now into the U.S. These are the type of situations where people, if they plug in and work the business, can truly create financial freedom. Would you be interested in taking a look at it? Right? And that's more of a business. I'll go into product in a second, but that's more of a business thing where you're talking about your top 2 positions in your business. And your top 2 positions are there whether you've been in fusion for 1 day or 5 months, because you've got 2 top positions in your organization at any point in time, right? And when I'm talking to people, when I'm doing the invitation, I've got these top 2 positions, and I'm wondering if you'd like to take a look at it. And I'd like to know if you're interested by 9 a.m. tomorrow, by noon tomorrow, and if you're not, that's totally okay, right? That's a release statement. It's all good if you're not interested, but I wanted to get this in front of you because I know that you're a driven person, or I know that you're an entrepreneur, or I know that you appreciate residual income, however you want to say it, right? But I'm asking for that time, because if I don't give a time limit, what ends up happening is it doesn't become a priority for them. So if I say, listen, I've got this new company out of Latin America, it's at $100 million, just launching into the US right now, wonder if you'd be open to creating another stream of income. Would you be able to look at one of these videos by noon tomorrow? I'm setting that time, okay? In terms of the specifics in which I go into around the business, again, I'll go into the products in a second. I talk about it like a star. Fusion is a star because it's got 5 major points, and these are the major points I talk about. So write them down, and you can choose one of them. You could choose a mixture. It all depends on when I'm talking to someone. I don't want to be long-winded, especially if you're new, because you don't know how to get into that long-windedness. But if I'm going into an invitation and I'm going to be short, I'm going to pick at least one of these 5 things. Number 1 is the timing. $100 million company launching into the U.S. We know statistically that the money is made on the front end of a company, on the front end of the growth curve, right? That's number 1, the timing. Even people that don't understand network marketing understand that getting in at the beginning is huge, right? And we've got a solid company to back it up. It's not a startup. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 are the products, the efficacy, and the price points. I talk about the fact that these are just replacement products. They're functional beverages. They're replacing what people are already doing, and it's helping people save money for the most part, right? We know our energy drinks are lower than market value. Our coffee, the weight loss, all these products are they're priced perfectly, right? So that's number 2, is the product efficacy, how people feel it right away, the right now products like On and Vita Energy, and the price points. Number 3, the third point of the star, is the no auto ship. We know that, you know, as far as what I've seen in 12 years, 90% of new people quit after their first 90 days because of the auto. Well, one of the main reasons is because of the auto ship, right? They've spent $600. Their spouse says, honey, how much have you made? I've made $10.55. They're done, right? With Fusion, we can match our expense to revenue. That's what any business wants to do. Minimize expense, maximize revenue. In Fusion, we're able to do that better, right? So that's number 3, the no auto ship. Number 4 is the upline support. We've got people like Paul Devlin. We've got people like Randy Gage, like Ann Feinstein, all these different leaders that are accessible to all of us. And that doesn't happen in the normal situation, right? Usually the people come in and they've got maybe an expert 50 levels above, maybe 10, but for the most part, they're being taught by people that aren't experts. That's a huge competitive advantage for us. And 5 is the system. Number 5 is the system. The innovations, right? The Fusion app, the duplication that happens. So if I'm talking to someone about the business and they say, oh, I tried one of those things, I'll simply ask them, so what happened? Well, let's say they come back and they say, I had no support. Great. In this situation, you have a ton of support. We've got some of the best network marketers in the world directly above us, right? Or they say, oh, that auto ship was too expensive. Well, in Fusion, we don't have an auto ship. You can match your expense to revenue better, right? So I can counter a lot of people's problems with network marketing. People that have been in the industry and something that they didn't like, I can mitigate that with Fusion using my 5 points of the star. Okay? Now again, if you're new, we want this to be duplicatable. So we don't expect you to go out there and rattle off everything that I just said. But choose one of those as the intro to your invitation. Just like I said, hey, we got a $100 million company launching into the US. Or hey, I've got a company that's got great replacement products or functional beverages. You know, everybody's drinking juices, teas, coffee, sodas, and all we're doing is replacing those products with better priced products and better ingredients. I'm choosing one of those things, and then what am I doing? I'm leading them to the video. Like Randy said last week in his training, as many people as we can get in front of those videos, let the tools do the work. You don't have to be the tool. We talk about network marketing that you're the commercial, the tool is the show, right? So ask questions, like I was talking about. Ask if a negative comes up, ask what happened. Now, how else do I do invitations? I do invitations in the middle of conversations. People talk about their health and finances or byproducts of both a lot in our conversations. Watch how many times it happens. And when that happens, I call it a red flag. The red flag pops up. They say, you know, I'm asking them questions. What do you do for a living? They're like, well, I'm a nurse. How do you like that? Well, I love it, but I spend a lot of time away from home and I miss my kids and this. Well, I've got something you might want to take a look at, right? Or how are you doing? Well, I'm not feeling too good. I don't have a lot of energy. I'm not feeling too great. I've got something you might want to take a look at. Just make a mental note of how much health and finance come up in conversations. And when they do, it's an easy insert to just say, I have something you might want to take a look at, right? And then you can elaborate a little bit, then get them to a tool. The other thing for me is I'm one of those guys that has pretty much zero filter. And so I am who I am, right? And people appreciate that when you're talking from your heart. When you're talking from your heart, they think this person is thinking about me. They're not thinking about themselves, right? If I'm putting I was talking about, you know, my mental attitude. Oh, shit, 7:30. I'm almost done here, Paul. If I'm thinking about my mental attitude, I'm talking from my heart. I've got confidence around what I'm doing, right? And I'm about that person. I'm thinking about how can I help that person. I'm not thinking about the money I'm going to make off that person. I'm not thinking about all the people that person's going to bring in. No. I'm thinking about that particular situation right now and how can I help them. And when you do that, it's not going to bounce off them, right? So get yourself mentally ready. Practice the 5 points of the STAR, right? Get to know those 5 points and use that in your business invitations. On a product invitations to me are very simple. You know, you see somebody drink at a Red Bull, hey, I've got something that's a better alternative for that. Can I send you a video, right? Let's see, I'm going to get through my stuff here quick. I guess the one thing I wanted to talk about also is lead them to the tools. I tend to do a verbal invite. Sometimes I do a texting invite because texting is a little bit more personal than an email. Emails have kind of fallen by the wayside. We got a 4% open rate, right? But if I'm verbally or texting someone the information that I just talked about, and they come back and they say, I'm interested in learning more, right there's where I use the app. I'm sending one of those 3 videos, either the Vita Energy under Present or the second one or the third one, right? And then if you've got all your product videos on the left-hand side too. So the equation is verbal or text invite, small amount of words, don't go off, get the response, then send them through the app, okay? Here's a couple small tweaks that I wanted to talk about quick. Test your stuff, right? Use a particular way around the invite. See how successful it is. If it's not successful, go to your upline and work through it. Find out what you can change. Don't keep doing the same thing if it's not working. You don't want to burn through a bunch of people, right? Doing the same thing. Work with your upline. Let the tools do the talking. Your posture is very important. It's a mixture of humility and confidence. Be yourself, right? But don't be one of those people that's, oh, I've got this business I want you to take a look at. Nobody is going to follow that. You've got to have excitement. And it may not be my type of excitement because I'm over the top. It might be your type of excitement. Regardless of how it is, be excited about it. Be in that right mental place. The last thing I'm going to say is think outside the box. You know, I think the internet is a huge advantage for a lot of network marketers. It can also be a hamper because they think that they just can put a post out there on Facebook and it's going to get traction. We've got to think outside the box. Who are people in your life that you want to put this in front of? What are different ways? I go up to yoga every day, right? Yeah, I look like I do yoga. I actually do. And I've got my 2-pack of On and Vita Energy, right? I don't know if you guys can see this. I've got my business card, and I've got it strapped around. And I do invites all day long. I just hand it out to people. Point being is think outside the box. If something's not working, then you got to change it, right? And work with your upline and see what you can do to make these small tweaks. Because when I got started in Fusion, I had a conversation with Paul, and this will be with me the rest of my life, Paul, and I thank you for it. I said, I don't know where I am on this level of professional network marketers. And he said, Ben, you just have to make a few tweaks. And I made a few tweaks, and it went poof. That is the difference between someone that's kind of doing this as a hobby or dipping their toes in the water and someone that's going to truly succeed. Make your tweaks and move on and just do it. So, Paul, sorry for running over, bud.
Hey, no problem, Ben. And I was having all kinds of technical glitches in the background. We do try to keep this to 30 minutes. We're definitely running a few minutes over, but I really wanted you guys to hear from Ben tonight because obviously you can just see his passion on the recruiting side of the business. Ben's one of the top recruiters in the United States. He's had a lot of success, so it's great to hear from people who are actually doing things that they're not experimenting with. They've actually done these things and they've worked. So that's why we were excited to let Ben cover that material with you tonight. I just want to encourage you tomorrow night, midnight, Wednesday night, that's the end of our week with Fusion. Get into your back office, get and look in that enrollment lines report. See who you've got on your team that's close to that next rank. Let's close the week strong. Thanks for being on the Hangout with us tonight. Have a great night, everybody.